Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome. Welcome to Way Back Wednesday. Hello, gay girl. How you doing? Hey, Nam. Did you guys bring some shoes? Did you get some shoes today? How are you guys doing? This thing is a little crooked. There you go. A little bit better. Maybe not. I don't know. I think I'm just going to go like that. I got the picture. I'm playing a little bit of music in the background, yes, but not too much. This is Men at Work. This was one of my first concerts, but it's not super, super loud, so I'm hoping that Sony will not hate me for it. How are you guys doing today? Living in a Land Down Under. That's the name of this song. They had a couple of good songs, a couple of really good songs. They're not just one hit wonders. What are you guys drawing today? What kind of shoes did you bring? Let's see, who else we got on here? Pia's here. The Percivals are in the house. Thanks, I appreciate it. I had the beard on it, and then it was just a little crooked. So I stopped by the Percival's house just a little while ago on the way back from the grocery store, and said hi to Caroline and Everett. Everett didn't say much of anything. He's probably blown away by the sight of another human being that didn't share his last name, but it was good seeing you guys. Chinese slippers, huh? So if you haven't gotten your shoes, what I want you to do is go get some. It'd be a pair. Ethan, he didn't say anything. Well, he said a couple. He said hi. So, I'm breaking out some old school. These are called the Goats. And when I say the Goats, it's the greatest of all time. My original Air Jordans, circa 1980s range, with Michael Jordan. These are old school. I think I bought these for around $85 back in the day, which it's a lot of money now. It was certainly a lot of money back then. So I got both of them. They've held up to the test of time. Now they're just drawing fodder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, I'm going to position them, and I want you to have a kind of an interesting setup. So if you think of yesterday's Scream, I drew my daughter, and she had her feet out like a penguin. That's not how I'm going to have mine. I'm going to have mine. I'll show you my setup here in just a minute, but we'll get started in a little bit. 103. Doing okay today? How's class? How's school? I taught my 7th grade earlier today, and then I went for a bike ride, got ready for this thing, and then Layla, hello, how are you doing? Layla, you got some shoes that you're going to draw? I hope so. It's a way back Wednesday. If Sony would not would stop flagging my stuff, I would be playing some 80s music. I did have some 80s music on earlier. We had Men at Work singing Down Under, and just a little while ago just a second ago, I had Queen. There you go. Another one bites the dust. The first time I heard this was I was 12 years old and playing football for my middle school, and can you ask a question? You can ask a question. Yes, ma'am. What is your question? Yes, you have shoes. Good. Pia, what's your question, lady? Where did I get the wig? I got it on wonderful Amazon.com. This one, this is an Adidas jacket that I got at Buffalo Exchange Outlet in Olmos Park by school. Hannah's doing book club. All right, well, I'm glad that she's reading. Jacob, I'm glad that you are here today. So sometimes what I would do after school is I'd have kind of a stressful day. Imagine that, kids acting all sorts of nuts. So in order for me to calm down, I just go to this place called Buffalo Exchange, and then I'd relax a little bit and peruse the store. So I'm working with my Prismacolors today, and then I also have some Blick acrylic. I'm going to draw with the markers first, and then I'm going to come back with some red, some bright red, Air Jordan red. When I say Air Jordans, I'm talking about Michael Jordan. He played a while ago for the Chicago Bulls. Buy a bunch of stuff. Hi, Sandy. Hello. Michael Jordan played for the Bulls, and prior to that, he was a North Carolina Tar Heel near my Aunt Sandy in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I do buy. The nice thing about that Buffalo Exchange is it's an outlet, so you can buy things at a sort of a discounted on sale. So, but the hair I had to get online. So anyway, so again, I've got my Air Jordans right here. These were very, very fashionable back in the day. And no, not the wig. It's a way back Wednesday, Layla. I like, kind of go back and forth and go back, zoom, zoom, zoom. There you go. You'll see somebody with an afro eventually, and you will always think of me in this little video. So let me show you my setup here. This is what I'm going to be drawing today. I'm actually thinking about doing, well, what do you think? I like maybe this little setup. So this would be in the foreground, and this would be in the background. Well, this is in the middle ground, and back there is in the background. So we have foreground, middle ground, and then the background. This guy right here would be the biggest. This side would be the biggest, and then we have the middle ground and then the background. So what I want you to do is I want you to figure out a kind of a cool setup for your own shoes. It doesn't have to be side by side where something is in the foreground, and it doesn't have to be. I'm going to try to get my computer all set up a little bit better. It doesn't have to be like mine. You hate that wig, Layla. Hate is such a strong word, and it's only Wednesdays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch out first. If you have a pencil, pencils would be great. Pencils normally have an eraser, so if you have an issue, you can always erase. However, pencils if you can go over them easier too. So it's just kind of a practice. And you have shoes, Jacob. That's fantastic. I'm glad you do. Does anybody have some really cool looking shoes, like Vans? Vans are kind of cool. I was going to wear some. I have some Harley Davidson boots. I was going to break those out, but then I saw these Jordans. What I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys a little bit. Last year, we had a permanent collection piece done by a girl. She is maybe not the tallest of girls, but I call her Sush. I call her Sush because on the first day of school she had some sushi. So, and she's small, short, so similar to Sush. So let me show you guys this. Let me find her here real quick. I'm trying to find the exact photo. Hers was actually, she did some boots. She did some boots, and the boots themselves were actually selected to be part of the permanent collection. And I loved it. Let's see if I have a photo of it. Of course, I don't have a photo of it. No, I do not have a photo of it. I don't know why I don't. That's crazy that I don't have a photo. I'm sorry, Sush, but she did some boots back when she was in first grade, and they got selected for the permanent collection. So I was thinking maybe that would be a good idea. If you don't have shoes, maybe you can do boots. Maybe you can do some flip-flops. Now, flip-flops, for the most part, are very easy to draw. There's not a lot of detail unless you have some designs on them. But the more ornate, the better. The more details that you can get on these, the better. I like to have. Hello, Safik. Safik, I hope you have some shoes on today. Shoes that you were going to draw. I have the Michael Jordan Air Jordan Special. These are the Chicago Bulls, red, black, and white. The Keystone Cobra's colors are also red, black, and white. So that's another reason why I chose that. I'm going to start off with a foreground color. Well, the foreground shoe, the shoe that would be on the left hand side. So I'm going to start. And before I show you what I've done, I'm going to sketch this out a little bit before I add some detail to it. Don't you want me, baby? This is what I have so far. We've got the sole of the shoe. Where did I get those Air Jordans? I got them at Foot Locker. I want to say about 20-something years ago, 25 years ago. So I have the red part right there. So I'm going to include the back part heel. Now shoes, they have these things that are called the toe part, and then there's a tongue. There's shoes with a tongue. You only want to do one of your shoes. Okay, well, you can do, you do whatever you desire. Okay, Jacob? So I have my piece here. This is sort of the outside of the shoe. And then trying to get my right and left, camera right, camera left. Here we go. Right in, darn it. There you go. We have, that's where the shoelaces are going to go here in just a second. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 holes in one side of the shoe. So I'm going to just start drawing those holes. So it was nice seeing the Percivals. If you weren't on earlier, I stopped by. They don't live too far from me. And I did a drive-by. I said, hey. I honked and they came out. Balenciaga. I don't know what a Balenciaga shoe is. What is a Balenciaga shoe? I've finished that back side. I'm starting on the shoelace right there. Now this is what is called a line drawing. You're not coloring in anything yet. So if you're doing with this with pencil, don't color it in with pencil. Do you like those Air Jordan shoes? They used to be the super in style back in the day. Now they're called vintage. When did I get those? I got them when I lived in Austin, so less than 20 years ago. Starting to come a little bit. You can start to see the shoelaces a little bit. Now inside of this, the tongue, I'm going to amp up the tongue a little bit. This is where it says Nike Air, and it's a white tongue. It's kind of crazy. So like this was when Michael Jordan was a famous basketball player, and he came up with these shoes with Nike, his own style. And people used to actually rob people and take their shoes right off their feet. Never had that happen to me, but luckily. I don't really make it a habit of wearing these shoes out, though. I don't know if they do that to me these days. How are your shoes coming? Everett, are you participating today? Gabriel, what kind of shoes do you have? What kind of shoes are you drawing? This is what I got so far. Now, one of the things I definitely need to include when drawing some Air Jordans is the Nike swoosh. As the, there you go. Has anybody ever owned a pair of, you're having some problems drawing the tip of the shoe? Well, why is that? Are you drawing, what kind of shoe are you drawing? You're drawing those Balenciaga, Marta, Jacob, you're drawing the shoes there. So we got the soles down here. If I can actually, there you go. And this is the toe. And then you're just wanting to bring that back a little bit. Kind of like a hook, like a boomerang, if you will. Now, if the Corys were on here, they'd have gone to they've gone to Australia. I think they came back with a boomerang. And one of the things that's necessary for my shoe is there's these things that are called stitches. Now, not exactly necessary for a video. Necessary for a video. I don't know what you're talking about. One of the things that I am including is I'm including some the stitching, and a stitching is a broken line. It's kind of like a, I would say, dancing ants, if you will. If you think about dancing ants, an army of ants have, there you go. You can start to see a little bit of the stitching. There you go. Stitching right there. Try to include try to include any sort of stitching with that broken line. So when a broken line is where you draw a line and then you have a little bit of space, and then you draw a line and a little bit of space. Now try to count how many it's a way back Wednesday. It's okay. It's not necessary for the video, but you know what? It makes it fun for me. Sorry if some people don't like it. Now, if you remember those, when we colored in this week, we do, oh, thank you, Caroline. If we colored it in using the hatched lines. We did Friday, we did the Easter Bunny with those hatched lines, and we did cross-hatched lines. I've started with the black. I have black shoelaces on those Air Jordans, and I've started to use a series of hatch lines. So go and if you have black anywhere and you're using a black marker, you can always color those in with black lines. Okay, Jacob, the Death Singer. That might not be as G-rated for some of our younger students, Jacob. I don't know what that means, Jacob. All I know is I'm drawing some Air Jordans from a while ago. It's starting to come on a little bit more. You can see the shading. Yeah. How is yours coming along? Okay. Now remember, the main focus of this particular lesson is more of a broken line thing, especially with the stitching. So include that as much as you can. Wherever there is stitching, it would be a stitch and then space, and line and then space. So there you go. Probably a few more. Got some shoelaces that I'm missing there, especially right in here. So that's one of the shoe, and then so this is going to be stuff that would be in the foreground. This is going to be a large shoe. It's a size 13, and then I got to go with a smaller shoe in the background. Not that it's a smaller size, but it's in. Does it have any stitching though? Does it have any stitching? That is the most important part to it, and that is a broken line. We have, in first grade, we do horizontal lines and vertical lines, and we do diagonal lines. If you remember the Gustav Klimt, we did curlicue lines. On this particular one, and if you think about my desk, and I have these paintings up there are, in purple, they have some broken lines. And the broken lines, again, are very similar to the stitching, and that's how that is created. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the basketball. Seems like we always have a lot of people doing landscaping, mowing some lawns. Right about now. I don't know exactly why they're decided to come in. I try to get that stuff done early in the morning. But there you go. And then I got the Air Jordan little logo in the background. What do you think? Good. Now in that background, I'm going to actually pick a different color, gray, black. Oh, it's at my house, so that's fantastic. Fantastic they could come right now. I might have to move this party inside. So just hold on. That's the nice thing about this. Talk about beautiful oops. All right. Hold on. We got our landscaping guy coming right now. I didn't know they were going to come today. Come on, Victor. Come on. How about now? Can you hear me now? One more time. Can you hear me now? Yes, no. You can hear me? Yes? I don't know exactly what was the problem. Very odd. I don't know why that was. I just got something out from the backyard, but okay. So, well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that happened. I'm glad. Well, I don't know exactly what happened, but whatever I did the trick. So, Madison Mason, I hope you guys had a good birthday. This is where we are with our shoe right here. As you can see, I've drawn one and I've counted the laces. And then in the background, I've started the second one. And it's really kind of up to you to decide what you want the position of this. This is called a still life, a shoe still life. I have gotten some, what I call Air Jordans on this wacky Wednesday, way back Wednesday. And it certainly has been wacky. Between my wig, my wacky wig, and then the sound going out, all production issues. And here I am just trying to maintain some sanity. I'm going to count the number of shoelaces. I have 8 holes in for my shoelaces. I don't know what happened with those with the vocals. I must have a mic somewhere that was triggered by the landscaping people. And I'm using, to do the black, I'm using hatched lines. If you think about how we did the Easter Bunny on Friday, and how we did those kind of coloring in, it's not a solid coloring job. It's a series of lines that are hatched and cross-hatched. How are your other classes? You doing well? You doing okay? Your Chinese shoes are done. Have you added any color to them, Pia? What can I use to make the shoes solid black? Well, what you can do, oh, they have dragons, excellent. You can do a series of hatch lines, like for instance, mine on the background there, here, it has black inside, and I'm just using a series of hatch lines first. Now, what you can do is you can do cross hatch lines also, and that makes it a little bit darker. Do a series of lines, kind of like these dominoes that are lined up vertically, side by side by side by side, and then kind of pushed over. They are still sort of, they're diagonal, but there's a series of lines that are drawn, or that are cast, I should say. So you can do that as well. That's how I would do black. Now you choose. You could color those in if you want to. But I like the hatched line look to it. It is fun to watch them topple. Caroline, I don't know if you heard me. I think it was yesterday. I am friends with Miss Orendays, Orenday on Facebook, and she was posting pictures of herself as a high school senior, 18 years old, and she went to a high school that the mascot was a dragon, and she took a picture of herself with that dragon, a green dragon. It kind of reminded me a little bit of your dinosaur, which I thought was kind of fun. How are your shoes coming along? Are they doing okay? Now, the thing I like about this particular lesson is it's open-ended, which means you could do, some slip-on shoes, and you can add color to them, or you can do a line drawing. For me, what I was planning on doing before I was interrupted by the landscaping people, I was going to do mine in a line drawing and then going over portions of it with red paint. And the red paint was very, very iconic with the time period. My dogs are going nuts with the landscaping people. You're working on the background. The background is fantastic. What do you think about that? Yeah, I was going to ask you, have you heard from that museum about your masks? I was very impressed with your presentation that you did there. It was super, super cool. If you guys have not seen Tia, what did you, who was that for again? Which museum was that for? Literally, the landscape people are right up against the window, so I apologize. So how loud it is, this is the way it is. Teaching in today. For those of you that have parents that are working at home, I'm sure that they have dealt with some things in their own business. The Age Khan Museum. Now, where is the Age Khan Museum? Is that in India? Is that in Toronto? Oh. Toronto is, I have to say, one of the coolest places I've ever been. It's a very clean city. Now, these Air Jordans that I have, they have a double stitch, so I'm doing 2 lines of double stitching. And I'm trying my best not to get upset here with this landscape guy who is just hanging right outside the window, blowing stuff. This is how somebody just keeps their patience. How did you find out about the Toronto Museum? Yeah. Have you been there? Gabriel, how are you doing with your shoes, man? Nam, how are you doing, man? You doing well? Sandy, I'm expecting some artwork out of you as well. There's my shoes. Now with that background. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this. The lines down here below, that broken line, the stitching. And the bottom of the shoe has what is called a tread. And it's almost like a little pattern of vertical lines, vertical dashes. When I say a vertical dash, I'm talking about this right here. You can see a little bit. The longest jump in the world. I don't know what you're talking about, Jacob. Are you talking about like Evel Knievel on a motorcycle? Are you talking about a long jump where somebody would run and try to jump? Are you talking about your vertical jump? How high you can jump in the air? You're going to have to give me a little bit more context than that. So when you ask me, when you start making comments about my wig and whether or not it's necessary for a video, keep in mind that I am answering about the longest jump in the world. No, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. You're not giving me any context. I'm just going to have to start. I mean, I just got to start randomly guessing jumps. Probably a running jump. There used to be this guy, his name was Evel Knievel. In the far, like he used to ride a motorcycle. Are you talking about that? Like he would go, and then he would jump over, like he jumped Devil's Canyon. Not sure where that is, but he did it. The senility has really started to set in. Cabin fever. Maybe we go back to that Edward Monk scream. Maybe yesterday it should have been, today's lesson should have been Edward Monk scream. Because that was me just a second ago in the backyard. What color are my, these are red. Chicago Bulls red. Not that ugly crimson. Like a cardinal red. Red and white. Red, white, and black. Not crimson and cream. Oh yeah, I like the Cardinals. Yeah. Not on motorcycle. I mean on foot, where you run and jump. I don't know. Maybe, how about 14 feet? How about that? Is that the longest jump that you could think of, Jacob? Do you have a Guinness Book of World Records book? I bet you do. Madison and Mason, I am still waiting to hear about your birthday. I saw some really cool pictures on Facebook. You know what we need to do, Madison and Mason? We need to give you that virtual pie in the face. Birthday pie in the face. I know that you are missing that. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy that is commenting about the color of the 30 feet. Wow, that's a lot. This guy, Jeff Snow, he's one of my friends. And during his lunch hour, what he likes to do is he likes to get on here and make comments, which I really appreciate. Because that's what friends are for, isn't that right? 30 feet. Jacob, can you jump 30 feet? I bet you can. Sasek, how are your shoes coming? Did you, Carl Lewis. Do you know where Carl Lewis went to school? He went to school at the University of Houston, not too far from San Antonio. Here we go. There's our nice shoes. The banter. These kids don't know what banter is, but I certainly do. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out my bright red quart of liquid acrylic. And I don't have my smock on. You know, you can admonish me as much as you want. I got a very small paintbrush, so I'm going to paint the parts red that need to be red. And the great thing about using these fancy markers is that the black will show through. Now I'm using the red acrylic. If you wanted to use markers, if you wanted to use oil pastels or watercolors, you can. I'm not sure what your art supply situation is, but you use what you have. Okay. I will make sure to sign it, yes. So today, I have to say, was probably one of the more challenging between dogs and landscaping, sound issues. Here's how that's come along. What do you think? You like that red? Some people like red. Some people that are mentally challenged like red too. I'm more of an orange fan, burnt orange. But I thought I'd go with some old school Jordans. I hope you guys are enjoying the lessons. It's really just more of me creating some stuff with you guys, painting, give you some ideas just to be creative If you're not creating every day, you're kind of growing stagnant. Your creativity and artistic ability are going a little bit stagnant. So, and we certainly don't want that to happen. There you go. What do you guys think? Now, these markers that I have, I think I told you a couple of days ago that they're the super fancy ones. So I don't want to take any chances on going over this wet paint with markers. But so I'm gonna stop there with. But I am going to add a little bit of the background. I'm going to add some stuff into the foreground. I'm going to just do some horizontal zigzag lines to show depth to it. I certainly don't want to cover over any of the wet paint with markers, because that you get that acrylic on the markers and it'll ruin the markers. I'm using the fat side, the wide side of the markers. This has what is called a chisel tip. And it's a little bit at an angle, so you can use the whole side to it for a wide line, bold line, or you can use the tip for a thinner piece. And then what I'll do is Pia, what is today? What is today, Pia? The date, I should say. I know I say this, there's just day and then day that Chick-fil-A is not open. So what's the date, the number? It's April, so it's 4. And the year is 20, I think. I think it is the 14th. 15th. It's the 15th. You know what today is also? Today is my dog Quincy's birthday. So I can't get too mad at him because it's his birthday. I think he turns 12. And yeah, I got the 15th on there. 15th. I signed it. Turned 12, so I went to the store and I bought him some dog ice cream with peanut butter flavor. He likes them. And I'll give him, and we'll have like a little party a little bit later on today. Sing happy birthday to him. Maybe give him a virtual pie in the face. Madison, I think I'm going to try to take a picture. I think I have some pictures of you guys somewhere on my school iPad. I'll do what I can to make sure that you get a pie in the face, birthday pie in the face. I wish I could do that with you guys in person, but I can't. So, so happy belated birthday to you, Madison, and happy belated to you, Mason. And I hope it was a great one. Tomorrow, what we're going to do, or so today, if you could do me a favor, when you're finished with your shoes, take a photograph of it, upload it to Artsonia. The account is YXHNKRPP. That's the school code. And thanks, Andy. The project is 000. Hey kids, turn it in here. And if you have any problems, take a picture. Oh, Jacob. Jacob is saying that he can jump 9 feet. That is fantastic. I appreciate it, Safik. I appreciate it. If you have any problems, take a photograph of it and then just upload it to Seesaw. Email me on Seesaw. This video will be as soon as I'm done ending, or as soon as I end it, I'll process it and then upload it, and it will be sent to your Seesaw, along with the video of other people's shoes. Shoes are always fun, so if you did enjoy the project today, you know, do it again, and maybe instead of your shoes looking like this, maybe you could. I think Jacob said that his designs were really cool on the side. Here's the tread. Tomorrow we're going to do fantasy cards. So try to think about what we're going to do fantasy card wise. Okay, guys, I enjoyed today. Sorry about all the mistakes and the landscape guys and the dogs barking and the vocals disappearing. That stuff is going to happen. Probably won't be the last time. So I hope everybody had a good day. I hope your drawings are turning out wonderful. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate it. Jacob just said I'm the best artist I know. So it makes me happy. It really does. You guys take care. Love you, guys.